Welcome. Today is about giving you as much information as possible on some of the pros and cons of property investment. Really, in essence, we really want to give you some information on avoiding the two largest mistakes made by property investors. Irrespective if you're from Darwin, Adelaide, Perth, Sydney or Melbourne, these two mistakes are made over and over and over again. And we're going to show you what they are today and how we believe you need to put things into place in order to avoid them. So let's get underway with some of the information we have for you. Quick introduction to the NPA Property Group. We're a large contingent of property investment consultants around Australia, really focused on building property investment portfolios for clients. We're not about just selling property for the sake of selling property. We research and identify properties in different markets, and really, not only that, but build property portfolios by way of strategic advice in relation to recommendations, strategies, structures, and so forth. So we're going to give you a whole host of different learning exercises and go through a whole host of different topics today with that information. Quick introduction to myself. Why am I here? Essentially, my passion, property investment, been a property investment consultant for 20 years now, CEO of the NPA Property Group. We have 21 offices around the country. My job is to travel around the country, oversee operations, make sure we're all really working the same way to the same philosophies around the country. In essence, to provide the best possible property investment choices, recommendations and strategies to our client base. Topics we're going to talk about. First and foremost, how to avoid the two largest mistakes made by property investors. This is critical. This is an absolute must to know and really can determine success from failure when it comes to investing in real estate. We're going to talk about capital growth. A recent article in the Australian Property Investor magazine asked a series of questions to 100 prospective buyers. The first question that was asked was, why are you actually buying property as an investment? What's your main motivation? Over 90% of respondents stated they wanted to create the most amount of capital growth in the shortest period of time, which you might think is quite obvious. Of course people do. Having said that, we contradict ourselves because we're not aware of where to buy and at what stage in a particular property cycle. Absolutely critical to know this, and I'm going to really make some really key points for that today. We're going to talk about income. On the other side of the coin, another question was asked, what is your greatest fear when it comes to investing in real estate? Once again, over 90% of respondents came back and stated their biggest fear was cash flow related. What if interest rates go up? What if I lose my job? What if negative gearing laws change? What if I have bad tenants? What if I have high maintenance costs? All these things are really valid and great points, but in essence, do they really say the same thing? Can I invest for my future, look after my family's future, but at the same time, can I enjoy the journey? Can the cash flows be working? Can I be actually avoiding the stress of a bad cash flow situation? And can I be doing things in the most effective way? I've still got to put petrol in my car, still got to buy groceries, I've still got to do all these things, so cash flow becomes critical. I'm going to really talk about that, and I'm going to actually show you once again why people contradict themselves. Because on one side of the coin, cash flow related issues are our biggest fear, and on the other side of the coin, we unfortunately contradict ourselves over and over again because we make cash flow mistake after cash flow mistake after cash flow mistake. We're also going to talk about tax advantages. We're going to talk about taking the shoebox full of receipts in your top drawer of your cupboard, which doesn't do much for you as you progress through the year, but I'm going to show you how you can take that shoebox full of receipts and turn it into a tangible tool in your property investment toolbox. Absolutely critical to be able to look at that in that way, and I'll show you what I mean as we go with this presentation.